Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Black Man Media. Today's video, we're going to talk about the approach. How should a man approach a woman? Now, fellas, this video is definitely for you, obviously for you. But today we're going to talk about this because a lot of women have come out and said that, a lot of men don't approach them in public anymore. It's more like online dating, more of the dating apps, and they're trying to understand why. And that could be for a lot of different reasons, right? It could be because you guys have a fear of rejection. It could be you just don't know what to say to a woman when you walk up to her anymore. You've been out of the game for too long from a previous relationship you're in. Who knows? But what I will say is that it's definitely needed. It's something about the confidence of a man that can approach a woman face to face that does something for that woman. So, fellas, I want to walk you through the process of approaching a woman face to face all the way through to the first date. Okay, after the first date, you got to handle it the best way you can. But I'm going to get you all the way to the first date. So first and foremost, when you're approaching a lady, no matter where you are, if it's a gas station, if it's a lounge, if it's a club, mall, wherever you are, you want to walk up to her, extend your hand, and you introduce yourself. Hello, my name is Eric. Okay, and you shake her hand. Now, when you shake her hand, you want to let her know that you find her attractive. Okay, this is letting the lady know why a complete stranger has decided to approach her and introduce herself. So you need to immediately say that she is attractive, that you find her attractive. Now, if you want to give her a compliment, I'm all for that. I'm all for giving a lady a compliment. But because this is your first time meeting her, this is her first time meeting you, you want to keep the compliments from the neck up. You don't want to compliment her on anything from the neck down because it can be seen as that you're sex driven. And you don't want to come off that way, so neck up. It could be her smile, it could be her eyes, it can be her complexion, it can be her hair. You have a lot that you can choose from just from the neck up. So keep that in mind, fellas, because you always want to be respectful when approaching a woman. So you approached her, you gave her a compliment. Now you want to ask her for her number. Let her know if I can get your number, get to know you better, if I can call you or text you. And she decides to give you her number, that's a win, right? So when she gives you her number, the next thing I want you to do, I want you to ask her, when is a good time for me to call you? This right here signifies to her, okay, you're considerate enough to be, of her time to see, if she's available at certain times. And now if she doesn't give you a time frame, then that's fine. Take that win and move on, okay? If she does give you a time frame, you want to make sure that you do call within that frame, because it's also important for a man to keep his word. So do that. But if she does not give you a time frame, what I want you to do is make sure that you reach out to her within 48 to 72 hours. Okay? 48 to 72 hours is your window, because of some things, some people have things going on and, you can't do it the very next day or the same day. But any longer than those 72 hours, it's a good chance she will not remember who you are. You can't say, hey, I'm Eric, you met me at the gas station. Huh? When? Where? Huh? So you don't want to have her have to fish in her head to find out who you are. You want to leave that impression with her. So when you reach out to her, when you text her for the first time, this is what you need to make sure you focus on. Focus on getting to know her. Don't mention anything about sex. Don't have anything sexual come out of your mouth when you're speaking to her in this first conversation. You want to be intentional with your conversation. So ask her about herself. Get to truly know her. See how she responds and see if she wants to truly get to know you. The way that this is supposed to go is supposed to be a good, healthy back and forth when talking on that first conversation. You asking her questions about her. She's asking you questions about you. It may be some times where you're saying, oh, that's a good question. Can you answer the same question for me? Can I answer the same question for you? That's kind of like a back and forth that it should be. That's a healthy conversation. Now, once you have that conversation, you have, I won't say limited time, but I would say within the first 3 conversations, you should make a determination if she is someone you want to take out on a date. Okay? And 3 conversations should be good enough for her to decide if she feels comfortable going out on a date with you. So within those 3 conversations, both of you guys should know where you stand when it comes to that. Now, when you decide to take her out on a date, you as the man should make sure that you are taking her somewhere that you are familiar. Take her somewhere where you feel comfortable, because what happens is that by you being the man, by you taking the lead and being comfortable in an environment, it's going to make her comfortable, because it's going to make her confident in you because you are so comfortable. So keep that in mind. Pick somewhere where you're familiar. Pick somewhere, it's even better, you pick somewhere where people know your name when you walk in. Hey, what's up, Eric? You know, how you been doing, man? You know, so if people do that, then she'll know that you're in familiar, territory. Now, my rule is this. No matter what you decide to do on a date, you want to offer to feed your date, fellas. Always offer to feed your date. I don't care if the original plan was just to go out and have drinks. The original plan was to shoot pool or go bowling. You always want to offer a meal to your date. Now, if she declines it, she declines it, but at least you offered. Now, speaking of the date, if you guys do something that's lighthearted, something that's full of competition, something that's fun, energetic, such as shooting pool or bowling, you want to make sure that you put yourself in a place of a happy medium where there is a tie to break. So if you're bowling or if you are shooting pool, you don't want to put your foot on her neck and beat her 10-1. That can be a bit embarrassing. Be a man, show the gentle side of yourself as well. I'm not saying you have to let her win. Ladies, I'm not saying he has to let you win, but I'm saying applying too much pressure like that on the first date is just not a good look. It should not make you feel good to beat somebody down like that. So I say this. Try to keep it even. If you especially if you're enjoying yourself, try to keep it even. Try to keep it at the point where, you're 5-5 or 4-4, 3-3, where it's kind of tied up. Then you can work that into the conversation of saying, hey, man, this was a good game. You gave me a run for my money. We got to do another date to break this tie. That way you are to put that second date into her mind, right? Which is a good thing. It's a good thing to put that second date into her mind, because at the end of the day, you can ask that question and you'll know where you stand, right? So when you ask that question when you make that statement of saying, hey, was going to go to a second date. And she said, oh yeah, sure, cool, that's fine. That's a good thing. I'm saying she may still be thinking about it, but it's good that she even went that way with it. If you get something like a we'll see or I don't know, then that's an indication that she's having an okay time. But if she had a chance to do something else, she'd probably be doing that something else. So that means you might need to switch things up a little bit, make things a little bit more exciting, show a little bit more personality. Just a few things you can do on the spot, in the middle of the date. So keep that in mind, man. Personality is key. So end of the date comes, right? You guys are trying to decide, what to do. If it's the end of the date or if it's something else you want to do. Now, the best dates to me are the ones where you have maybe one or two activities that you had planned, but it went so well where you just start adding on stuff to the end of your night to kind of extend the date. That lets you know that someone is really enjoying your time. So if you only plan to bowl and she's like, yo, bowling, okay, we tired in bowling, but hey, how about we go over here, shoot some pool, go to this place and shoot some pool, or go over here and walk in the park, or whatever the case is, but something that's being said to extend the date. Always a good look. But if that doesn't happen, does not mean that it's a bad date. It just means that it's just time for her to go home, time for you to go home. People have things going on. So don't take every little thing in the date in a negative way. But when you're leaving the date, you want to ask her. You can ask her then. It's a very manly thing to do, to ask her then, hey, so, I'm looking forward to our second date, and then get a feed from her, to see if she's feeling the same way. Me too. And then, or if it's a we'll see, chances are it won't be a second date. But, that'll be completely up to you. But when you're asking her that, always be a gentleman. Let me know when you made it home. If you guys drove in separate cars, let me know when you made it home. And then, she'll call you. You then reemphasize the fact that you enjoyed the date. And then, you should have a good night. And that's it. That's a good date, solid date. Now, if you guys are old school and she allows you to come and pick her up, that's a brilliant thing right there. It's a wonderful thing. But if she allows you to pick her up when you take her home, and you open the door and you let her out, then what you should do, offer to walk her to her door. If she says no, it's okay, I'm fine. And most women will say no, they're okay, they're fine, because it's the first time they met you. It's the first date, so don't take that in a bad way. But give her a hug, goodbye, and then say, because I know you care. If she doesn't say this, you say this. Because I know you care so much, I'm going to make sure I give you a call or a text to let you know I made it home, okay? Just a little light humor you can give her. And then from there, go home, text her, hey, I made it home. Also let it be known that you enjoy the date. See if she backs you up with that and says the same thing to you about her enjoying the date as well. And then you guys can go on from there. So I think that'll pretty much wrap up the first date and the approach. You guys have any questions or anything about any other scenario or anything, put it in the comments, man. I love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this walkthrough from the approach through the first date. I would like to hear feedback from the women as far as if this is something you will be able to connect with, or from the fellas to say, okay, yeah, I can connect with this, but I tried this and it's also led to a successful day. I love to hear your stories. Please put them in the comments. Please hit the like and subscribe to the channel, man. All the love and support you guys give is definitely appreciated. So again, thank you guys. Until next time, it's your boy Black. Peace.